I guess it's going to the cloud. Okay. Calling to order Kent Volunteer Fire Department Annual Membership Meeting, January 3rd at 7:04 p.m. We rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we begin, Bonnie, are you available to type out a motion
Yep, go ahead.
to add COVID-19 safety protocols as last to old business?
Old business or new business? Old business?
Yeah, it was on the previous agenda. The motion is to add COVID-19 safety protocols last under old business. Is there a second?
Second.
Edward will second.
And it's your motion, John, or is it Bonnie's?
Bonnie, are you okay to make that? Bonnie,
I'm fine with making the motion. That's fine.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion? Let me make sure I can view everybody here. Got it. Okay, hearing no discussion, could we vote in chat, please? Thank you, everyone. Are there any other motions to add to the agenda?
Motion carries. Good. Thank you.
Um,
John, I have a motion.
Hang on a second, Matt. Mary Ann, are you in a place where you could send Lawrence Schenk the agenda again with the link on it? He's trying to access.
Yes, I will.
Good. All right, Matt, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to add the department capital plan budget after the operating budget in old business.
Is that a motion you can type in, Matt?
I think so.
Thank you. Matt's motion reads to add department capital plan after operating budget and old business.
Needs a second.
Budget.
Sorry, I got.
I'll second. I'll second.
All right, Kathy, are you able to? I'll type it in.
Oh. Sorry.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote. After operating budget. Motion carries, so added. Okay, public or member comment? The only thing I have is a big thanks to Susie Rundle. I believe Gary and John Christian were very helpful as well with the Stuff a Truck effort. A lot of fine merchandise was collected for the drive. Thanks very much. Is there anyone else that I missed other than the number of fine helpers from High Watch also came down to help? Is there anyone else I missed?
Joyce from Town Hall.
Great, thank you. Yes, Joyce, I think, is pretty much the whole coordinator of the event. Okay, treasurer's report.
Well, I don't know what you really want me to report on because I don't have anything since the December. You see, I wrote it all down here. Do you want me to do the full report that as of December 20th, John? That's all I can basically give you those official numbers.
That would be fine, yes.
Okay, the investment accounts, December 20th, is 1,155,405.17. The ambulance investment account is 129,703.79. December 20th bank accounts, the operating was 29,416,339. The rental account, 166,808.96. Ambulance account, 107,790.29. Donations, 42,322.92. And I know that donation account has gone up, but I don't have a total because they haven't been deposited yet. I'd also like to make a motion that we pay the reoccurring bills for 2022. And can someone type that in?
Bonnie, are you okay with that?
Yep, Ed, can you just repeat that? Sorry.
That we make, I'd make a motion that we pay the reoccurring bills. And they're the same as the reoccurring bills of last year for 2022. And if you need me to list them, I can list them for you, but there is a file copy in the treasurer's room of the reoccurring bills. I can, it's the computer subscription, air gas, ambulance billing company, aquarium water, association dues, Boy Scouts of America, charter communications, cleaning services, computer internet security, EMT, MRT, CPR, firefighter 1 and 2 classes for certifications and recertifications, Eversource, governmental permits, registrations, fees, licenses, and renewals, heating fuel companies, insurance premiums, loan payments, member uniform deposits, member stipends, Northern Duchess paramedics, pest control, postage, rental property related bills, sewer, spotted dog, tech soup, computer, annual subscription for website and add-ons, telephone, internet service companies, and trash pickups.
That was circulated December 30th.
Yeah,
Needs a second.
Alan Gobble has seconded it. Any discussion? Again, recurring bills are bills that allow, that are frequent and are allowed to be paid. All right. No other discussion. Let's vote. Add the unpaid bills. We want to try and get in there.
Right.
I circulated to the membership what we had for the December 20 special meeting that was canceled. I have them in front of me, but they were also sent to the membership.
can you put those on the screen for people, or do we have to read them, or can we make a motion to pay them? They were distributed, so,
I'll read them.
okay.
Ace Hardware, $87.95. Apex Communications, $315. Bonnie Donzella, $12.74. Fire Equipment Headquarters, $159. Firematic Supply, $1,005.28. Head and Lawn Care, $610. We have a credit of $36 with Levine Automotive. Tim Limbos Communications and Technology, $3,619.99. Medical Warehouse, $328.50. $328.50. New England Fire Equipment and Apparatus, $3,321.51. Susie Rundle, $79.04. John Russell, $18.22. Marianne Van Valkenburg, $28.20. VFIS, $23,729 for insurance. And Webalon is one of our internet services, $90 for a total of $33,368.43. Any further discussion? The motion reads to accept the treasurer's report and pay the bills as distributed.
I have a question, John.
Matt,
According to the P&L, we already paid the full year's premium for the insurance. Is there a reason why we're paying more?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Ed, do you know?
I only know that Marcy said that we're paying it for the full year. And I'm not sure when the calendar year started and ended. That's what she told me. So that's why we put it in.
if you check the P and L, you'll see that we already paid the entire amount that we budgeted for. It's like 45,000.
I don't think we paid the whole amount.
Right.
They used to do it in separate payments.
That was so the interest was being earned by us and not BIFS.
Correct. And now they decided they weren't gonna do that anymore. They were gonna pay the full amount.
Who decided that?
The accountant and the people that, the executive committee.
It really doesn't make sense. So did our insurance go up? I mean, is it 45,000 a year or is it closer to 70?
I don't have that information.
All right, it's not a little mistake. It's,
All right, well, hearing no other discussion, call the question. Let's vote. Kathy, I have 8 yays, 3 noes, 3 abstentions. Ed, when you hear back from Marcy, can you try to get to the bottom of that?
Yep, I will. She'll be back Friday. She just texted me a few minutes ago.
Okay, I didn't want to speculate during discussion, but I wonder if that's for first half of 22, but again,
I believe it's the first half of 22.
I speculate. Okay.
Hey, John,
Alan,
under the bills, and I didn't have time to get the invoice and the paperwork done, but I would request permission, or I'd like to make a motion for a reimbursement for myself of $577.90. Or maybe Bonnie, if you wouldn't mind making the motion, since it's going to go to me. And this is for the cost of the rapid COVID testing kit that we purchased under medical expenses. So again, our current, or I'll get the motion, then I'll explain that afterwards. Bonnie, if you wouldn't mind, or Mary Ann, since you're in
What
charge.
was the amount? 577?
Yes, $577.90. And this all just happened last week, so Ed would not have had these. This was not into the thing. The bookkeeper hasn't had it, and so forth. Thank you, you guys. So for discussion, for the rapid testing kits, everybody's been following what's been happening in the governor's office and so forth. And so our COVID committee, we've been working with the town and about what to do, what can we do, how can we get them, where can we find them. So our normal EMS supplies company is not able to provide them. The state was not able to provide them at first, and then they were able to provide some, and then it's been back and forth. Rest assured that everybody's been working hard at trying to get them available for us, and us ourselves working very hard and looking at all avenues. But I was able to find through my work access a company that was able to provide them. So the cost for 40 kits, or for 40 tests, I should say, one kit that does 40 tests, was $577.90, and that included overnight shipping. So discussed it, and we went ahead as our medical supplies and ordered that. I put it on my bank credit card to expedite it and get things moving. We did receive them. Both Marianne and Bonnie are trained in administration of it, and fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, they had already started using them on responders that had a exposure or signs and symptoms. That's it, John. Just wanted to explain to everybody where it is and why it was a little bit of out of order, where Ed would normally just have it on the list, but it happened, and I'd rather not wait till next month for $577.90.
Alan's motion, or Bonnie's motion reads to reimburse Alan $577.90 for rapid at-home test kits. Or is there any other discussion? Okay, let's vote. Sean Dingy, for some reason, you're direct messaging me your yes. Could you resend your vote to everyone? Oh, there it is. Got it. Thank you. Okay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Ed, under treasurer's report, do you want to say anything about the town capital request?
I submitted it today, so,
All right.
and I gave, like I told you earlier, I handed one personally to Joyce, and I put the other copy into the treasurer's box like it said to do, but I figured I'd hand in two to be safe.
Okay. Under President's report, just a reminder that on the December 30th agenda, I also attached documents for the most recent profit loss statement and the proposed 2022 budget, as well as the recurring bills. You can refer to that. And a reminder, since this is the new year, to fill out your blue light permits for the chief to sign, and interior firefighters, please start working on getting your your annual physical set, and those can be submitted to the records clerk. Okay. Correspondence?
None from me, sir.
Okay. Could we have a motion to approve the previous membership meeting minutes? Bonnie's motion is to approve the December 6th, 2021 membership meeting minutes as distributed and seconded by Jordan. Is there any discussion? One thing I picked up in the minutes was under old business for the 2022 capital budget vote. It was recorded as the motion was denied by the president. I went back and checked the recording, and I had said it was not recognized. If that could be noted. Any other discussion? Okay, let's vote.
Matt had his hand up a minute ago, John.
Okay, I scanned, I didn't see it.
He fizzled. I think you had it up, didn't you, Matt?
I took it down.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Thank you, the motion carries. Okay, membership. At the November 22nd Executive Committee meeting, there was a motion approved to recommend Michelle Kaplan to the membership once her physical is completed and received. Michelle's physical has been completed and received. We get a motion to accept her as a member.
So moved, I'll put in the chat. Oh, I will second.
Mary Ann's motion reads to accept Michelle Kaplan as a member, seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Okay, let's vote.
John, I see John, Eric has his hand up.
Eric,
I was just looking for a little background on her. What the,
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, good point. If we could, let me close the vote.
Oh, John, you can't do that.
I don't, well, Mary Ann, would you be willing to tell a little bit about Michelle Kaplan?
Sure. I don't have the exact numbers, but Michelle's been in town for, I believe it's about 7 years. She lives right in town. She works at Kent School. And she had talked to me a number of years ago about joining the department and becoming a member. And timing is better for her now. So she's ready to jump into a EMT course. She's been looking already for them. And yeah, I think she'll be a great asset to the department.
Great, thank you.
I know her personally and she's a very nice lady.
Mary Ann, could you invite her to our next meeting? Thank you. Okay, anything else for membership? Eric?
John, I apologize. I was in the waiting room for a bit in the beginning of the meeting. Can I add to the agenda an item?
Normally, we try to add things at the beginning of the meeting.
I completely understand that.
Well, let's give the membership a say in the matter, so go ahead.
I'd like to add document storage to the agenda.
Where on the agenda?
I guess under new business.
Eric's motion is to add document storage to the agenda. Seconded by Alexis. Discussion. Eric, just to clarify, this will be added to the end of new business after warned expenditures.
Thank you.
All right, let's vote. Okay, that motion carries. Anything for executive committee? All right. Old business, 2022 operating budget. Ed, do you want to start us off with a motion? All right, I don't see Ed in our.
That better? Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the 2022 budget as distributed and approved by the executive committee.
Bonnie, your chat didn't indicate it was Ed's motion. Are you making the motion? to accept
Oh, well,
it?
I was typing it before Ed
She was
popped
typing
back up there, so, sorry, Ed.
That's fine.
Okay.
So we'll leave it as Bonnie's motion then. Sir,
Okay.
That's
Ed, is that
fine.
all right with you?
Yep, that's perfectly fine.
Okay, it was seconded by Tim. Again, the motion is to accept the 2022 operating budget as presented. All right, discussion. Okay, hearing no discussion.
I
let's-
have discussion, John.
Okay, I didn't see your hand. Go ahead.
Prior to the December 6th meeting, I sent a lengthy list of errors, questions, concerns, both to the treasurer, yourself, John. Never got a response back on those as to addressing them. I do see some stuff was changed, not all of it. Is there somebody that understands the P&L or understands the budget that can answer questions, or are we just, or would it make more sense just to pass it and?
Okay, can you clarify your concern that your email wasn't responded to?
Well,
Or,
there was a draft budget sent out prior to the December 6th meeting. Asking for preferably before the meeting, any correspondence regarding it, which I did, spend much time on it. Ed, and you didn't get my list of questions? And
I got your list of questions.
okay. It was pretty lengthy, John, so that's what I'm asking. We're looking at a budget that has a 80, let me see, an 80, almost an $83,000 deficit. You look back the last 3 years, we've been budgeting greater and greater deficits every year. This year, we're going to be using, or it's projected or proposed to use some of our investment account to offset that. But it also looks like we're going to have a huge deficit once December's books are closed out. We haven't even approved December's invoices because Marcy's not available to give us that information. So, I mean, did the executive committee discuss the fact that there's a huge deficit here? And it's an ongoing deficit year after year after year?
Yes, they did.
Is there a plan to correct it? The
They're gonna end up-
proposed budget shows that we're going to be taking money out of numerous accounts to try and offset it.
That's correct.
But according to my looking at what the current balances are and looking at what we're spending per month, we won't have enough funds because we get very little new funds in the first quarter or first 5 months. We won't have enough money left to readily have available to pay our bills. Between the capital plan that was proposed and this plan. I just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. I mean, I guess if the executive committee thinks it's a good idea, is that what the executive committee decided at?
Yes.
Okay, enough said.
all right, any other discussion? Okay. The motion is to accept the 2022 operating budget as presented. Seconded by Tim. Let's vote. Kathy, I have 3 nays.
John, Alexis's vote went to me in like private chat instead of to everyone.
I got it.
Okay.
I have 9 yays. Seven abstentions. Thank you for your patience, everyone. All right, investment, oh, sorry, capital plan. Matt,
Yeah, John, I brought to your attention directly after the December 6th meeting. The capital plan, during discussion, Eric brought up, he thought that should be tabled. He was instructed, if he so felt, to put it in the chat, which he did, and I second it. But instead of addressing the table that was in the chat already, the motion was called for a vote and voted and approved. And then after the fact, you decided not to acknowledge the table. According to Robert's Rules of Order, it should have been, the table should have been addressed. Whether you didn't want to acknowledge it, or it should have been brought to the membership to discuss, not just ignored. That's why I asked to have it brought up at tonight's meeting. I think it should be corrected.
and what is the correction you would like?
I think the old motion did not carry because it was out of order. I think the motion needs to be redone if somebody so chooses, or tabled for discussion like Eric had requested.
And that's the question we might ask.
So in response, well, I don't know what you'd like, Matt. I replied to you that the motion was sustained. You had requested it be brought to the membership.
So I asked for due process, that's all.
Okay,
You can do with it as you want now. It's as long as it's on the record.
okay. Is there anything else on capital plan? Okay, investment policy changes. That was, it was asked to make changes, needed work. It had not been, at the last meeting, the membership, as Matt had pointed out, really didn't have a chance to review it. And then some suggestions were made, some concerns were made, and they were valid. And those I haven't had a chance to take those into account yet. I've had some discussion with Ed about it, but I don't have anything prepared for the membership. So if there's other members that have would like to comment on it, by all means. Otherwise, I will try to work with the investment committee to have something presented to the membership at a time that for them to review and then bring to the next meeting. And just, I see your hand, Eric. Thank you for raising your hand. Just as for process here, I scan the participants menu or list as much as possible. I've got 2 other boxes up over your pictures, your faces. So if you're physically raising your hand, please say something verbally. I might miss it, but I got Eric's hand here, and go ahead, Eric.
John, I just want to repeat my email that I sent you, and I see that the executive committee took it up. You know, you'll hear in the next report of the foundation committee, we got the draft document. And I would just request that you hold off doing any real work on that policy change until we can, see what's going to happen with the board of directors. I'd hate to have to see you change it and do all that work, and then it's going to have to be changed again once there's a board. So I just caution you to doing extra work. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other discussion? Okay. Foundation committee. We'll turn it over to Eric.
So we have received the draft proposal from them. The committee has all gotten it, and I believe is reviewing it. We're going to try to have a meeting before this meeting, and with the holidays, it just didn't happen. So we'll look for an update at next month's meeting.
Thank you, Eric. I had added, any other discussion? Tim Limbos?
Plan is after the committee reviews it for it to go out to the membership for review, or how's the process going to work for that?
So we wanted to get, our eyes on it. We think that there's going to be some stuff that, we'll be able to knock out or eliminate or add or whatever before it goes to the membership. But yes, obviously it's going to go to the membership at the very near future.
Okay, other discussion? All right, we'll move on to COVID-19. I had that added to the agenda because I had distributed our updated protocols to the membership. And it was important that members be able to comment on it. And again, if you haven't read that email yet or its attachment, it wanted to emphasize that it contains language stating that cloth masks no longer are considered reliable in the eyes of many experts. And so it was determined that cloth masks should not be, are not acceptable on any fire department calls or in the firehouse. Surgical medical grade masks are, we're working on making them available right at the entrances. And they should also be available in the responder area. I think Wendell was looking into that. Bonnie was looking into that, but please keep us appraised if you find that masks are not immediately available upon entering the firehouse. Obviously, we would prefer you have a mask, a medical grade mask of some kind before you enter. But again, and we also looked at possibly having them available immediately outside the doors. And that's not working great right now, but we'll continue to consider it. And I'll open it up to further discussion here. Tim Limbos.
With the state supply of equipment, was there any KN95? I believe that there was. The reason why I'm mentioning that is, we're just discussion at work and stuff like that, and they're actually recommending not even the surgical mask and just going with the KN95 style mask for you as the healthcare provider, and just surgical masks for the patients. There's a lot of people that look completely healthy that we're getting notifications, hey, this person had COVID. So it's happening more and more, and even the KN95 masks are a little bit better than the surgical masks. So I don't know if then that stockpile we got from the state, if we still have any of those masks, so we can maybe make those available as well as the surgical masks.
Mary Ann, I see your hand. If I could I ask Bonnie or Alan to reply to Tim's statement? And then come to you, Mary Ann, is that all right?
Tim and John and everybody, yes, we did actually discuss that as our committee, about the medical mask and its concern. And we're gonna have to all continue to watch this as this variant, develops and more information and stuff comes in. And just because it's a minimum in the protocol, safety protocol, please, at the briefing last week, you heard me say this many times during the thing, is your own individual health and safety, and the individual health and safety of your family, and are the top priorities. So yes, the KN95 offers better protection from what we're hearing, seeing, and being reported, and then obviously the N95s, with that. Yes, there are KN95s, and then Mary Ann is our EMS supply officer and coordinator. So she has been doing inventory. She has been making stockpiles, and if you'll see, even before this took its big uptick here 2 weeks ago, Bonnie and I and Mary Ann have, constantly communicating about things, and that's when Mary Ann put extra supplies out for people to take for your personal protection, because we need, we're all volunteers and the families and everything, so we need everybody is protected all the time, not just when you're in the firehouse, or on a call. So we made those available. We're learning more. There are also, as you saw in that list, the KN95s on the apparatus, along with the medical masks. Remember, we've had medical masks on there since the beginning, so the KN95s are also on the apparatus, and obviously in the ambulances and so forth. So there are, as far as exact numbers, Mary Ann was working on an inventory. She can speak on that just as a second to share with everybody. But Tim, I think that's a good point, and so they are definitely available. Mary Ann, do you want to, or John, can Mary Ann comment? She'd know more about numbers.
Yeah,
Numbers, I was just looking for the report we did. I didn't count everything, but I will tell you, we have the N95s are, there is an expiration date on them, and we have a lot, but they, I think June and July, they expire this year. KN95s and surgical masks, we have a ton. So wherever you want them, let me know, and I'll put them out so somebody can put them there, or, probably a good idea to have them at entrances. Absolutely. And if anybody needs anything, I've put some stuff out on the counter. I know some of it's gone, but if you need something, please just let me know, and I'll leave it out for you or meet you or whatever. We have plenty, and I agree. Everybody should be safe. So.
thank you. Matt, and then Ed.
Sorry, my mute button's stuck. What's the difference between this KN95 and the N95?
I'll take a shot at it if I could. The KN95 is manufactured in China, but it also is not, I'll be corrected, I hope, but it is not considered a respirator. It's sealed, does not around the face does not qualify it as a respirator, yet it has many of the same filtration properties as an N95 mask. You note that it hooks around the ears, whereas the respirators hook around the head. So,
Okay, thank you. That's good. I just didn't understand the difference. Thank you.
John, also, if I can just add to that, Matt, and for everybody, you also may see masks out there, because this is what I purchase for work and personal, is a FLTR 95, almost like the abbreviations for filter. And the difference between the KN95 and the filter 95 is that the filter 95 is very similar to the K, but the filter one is made in the United States. The K, if it designated K, is it's made in China. The K is made to the China standard, which is, and the filter is made to the United States standard. And so that's the big difference. So they still meet that, John, what you said is very clear on that, but the filter ones of the FLTR 95 also undergo our NIOSH safety standard testing and checking, where the K ones do not, because they meet China's standard for safety and checking of their NIOSH equivalent.
okay, Ed?
And also just to remind everyone that when the town does their testing, all emergency members can go right up the back way and get tested immediately. So it's pretty convenient. So that's all I wanted to say, because I actually went there and got tested today for the first time ever.
Is there any experts here that would disagree with the notion that wearing an N95 or a KN95 is vastly superior to wearing the surgical masks?
The state of Connecticut only gives the KN95s to their employees.
Okay. I know there are some folks who have significant trouble using the KN95 or the N95. So we had to take that into account in the protocols. Okay. Anything else on this topic? Again, I can only see so many members visually. Then the membership spills over onto another page. Again, I scan the membership list and the participants, and that's how I see hands up. Just trying to do the best here. Okay. New business. Let's move into elections.
John, I had a question before we start
Yes.
elections.
Yep.
I saw there's something right after elections, previous legal action, executive session. And I know the way our elections work, the new officers take over immediately. I mean, should we address whatever that is prior to the elections?
Alan, do you want to comment on that?
It has to do with, it's kind of quiet because it the way it's spelled out, it has to do with the WOTUC court settlement or court order, I should say, not court settlement, but court order. So we certainly could, it could go, either way, but that's what it has to do with.
Okay, well, I just wanted to bring up in case it was imperative that it was discussed by the old administration, not new administration.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. The way we set this up is Dan Kabasakalian, I don't know if he's here tonight, and Tim Limbos and I were the nominating committee. And we, toward the end of our work, we brought in Gene Speck to help set up the best possible Zoom voting scenario so that it could go as smoothly as possible. Jean is, I believe, co-host with me on this Zoom call. And she will be the one to produce the surveys that we use to vote. Every vote will have an abstain as an option, regardless of the number of candidates. If there's one candidate, there still has to be an abstain option because of the polling. The way the polling software works, it requires 2 or more options for it to be a poll. We did run a test scenario. It seemed to go well, and we hope it works. If there are, let's see, and I believe the secretary will record the poll results. All right, at this time, I'd like to open the elections. Well, let me restate the election slate for fire chief, and this will be the order of elections. For fire chief, the committee nominated Alan Govel, or the nominating committee is, nominating Alan Govel. For assistant fire chief, Gary Hawk. The other assistant fire chief, Wendell Soul. Ambulance chief, Bonnie Donzella. Assistant ambulance chief, Jill Scholson. Captain, Alexis Swagmacher. Captain, Sean Dingy. Lieutenant, myself. The other lieutenant is unfilled, is available. President, myself. Treasurer, Ed Mattson. Secretary, Kathy Mazza. Engineer, John Christian. Okay, so we'll open it up. Open up the elections in the order presented. And for the first position of, for the position of fire chief, the nominating committee has nominated Alan Govel. Are there any other nominations? Okay. Hearing none, we will close the nominations for this position and proceed with the voting. How about that for speed? If you are on a
John,
Zoom,
somebody's nominated Wendell. I can't see. Alexis nominated Wendell.
okay. Jean, are you able to end that poll?
I can tell you right, I decline.
Okay, thank you. We'll proceed. If you could vote. Everyone should have a poll box appear up on their screen.
Not yet.
I had one come up, just so you know, Kath.
I did as well.
Kathy, the poll, if you tapped on some other item on your screen, the poll box might have been hidden.
Should come up very front and
I have it now. Thank you.
Yep, we have 15 out of 15 voted.
I don't have it.
It's in the same box. Yeah,
I don't have it either.
What's your device, Alexis?
Got it.
iPhone.
Should be in your more section, where you pick your chat.
Yeah, on the very bottom, Alexis, you should be able to tap the bottom.
I got chat, meeting settings, minimize meeting, disconnect audio, raise hand. Hold on, let me go. Maybe I just need to back out more and go back in.
Or you got to go to polls. I got it.
Sorry, it just came up.
Carrie Colup, I believe you're the only associate member or not here, just confirming you're not voting. I'll do a count.
Yeah, it looks like we have 100% voted.
I actually haven't voted. Gene, I need to log in on a separate device because I'm a co-host. So, okay, we're almost there.
Recording in progress.
John, you're muted.
Thank you, Tim. So everyone understands the co-hosts are not able to vote or in the poll. So I have logged in on a separate device to vote. And it appears I'm not able to vote in this particular round, but I think I will on the next vote. All right, we ready to close the voting?
Probably because it was already launched, John.
I believe so. Yep. Okay.
And
Okay. Gene has posted the results. And Alan Gobble, congratulations.
Thank John, and thank you,
Set
everyone.
Sorry.
No. thank you, everybody. Your continued support and hard work. And as we all work together, we are in a challenging time right now. We had a challenging year and we continue to do that. So you've heard me say this several times and I'll keep repeating it. If we all continue to put in a little bit of time like you're doing, we all do, then we can work together as a team and be there for the town. So thank you.
Kathy, are you good for me to stop sharing the results? You've got everything.
Kathy, you have recorded the results?
Yes.
Okay.
Would it also be recorded in the Zoom copy?
Yes.
You mean in chat? Not in chat.
No, in the actual video recording, yeah, it should be all along.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, for the
And
position.
just to, John, sorry, just a piece of housekeeping, just to let everybody know, all the polls are anonymous polls, so there's no record of individual votes for any of these. So it would be as though it's a paper ballot.
Okay. All right. Are we ready to proceed, Gene?
On your ready.
Okay. For the position of Assistant Fire Chief, the nominating committee has nominated Gary Hawk. Are there any other nominations? Either by voice or chat?
Second.
Okay, Carly, I'm not sure what you meant. Am I doing something incorrectly?
No, I was seconding Gary's nomination. I thought I heard you say it needed to be seconded.
Okay. All right. Hearing or seeing no other nominations, we'll close the nominations. And Jean is presenting on your device right now the poll. Okay, does anyone else need more time to vote? If so, please verbally say something. Okay, I think we'll close the voting. Gary Hawk, congratulations. Your election to Assistant Chief.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Okay, for the position of Assistant Fire Chief, nominating committee has nominated Wendell Soul. Are there any other nominations? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the nominations for the position of Assistant Chief and proceed with voting. Does anybody else need time to vote? Okay. Let's see the results. Oh, okay. Wendell Soul, congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, for the position of ambulance chief, nominating committee nominated Bonnie Donzella. Are there other nominations? Okay, hearing none, I'd like to close the nominations for the position of ambulance chief and proceed with voting. Okay. We're finished the voting. Let's see the results. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations, Bonnie, sorry. For the position of assistant ambulance chief, nominating committee nominates Jill Scholson. Are there any other nominations for this position? Hearing none, we will close the nominations for the position of assistant ambulance chief and proceed with voting. Okay, looks like everyone has voted. Can you show us the results? Congratulations, Jill. Assistant ambulance chief.
Thanks.
For the position of captain, nominating committee nominated Alexis Swagmacher. Are there other nominations for this position? Okay, hearing none, we will close the nominations for the position of captain and proceed with voting.
I don't have a voting bar on this. I don't know why.
I neither have
Last
I.
two, they
I don't
didn't
either.
pop up for me.
How we doing, Gene?
Oops, sorry about that. I was on mute when I was just saying what I was saying. I need 1 second to do a quick edit on, this is captain, correct?
Correct. Alexis Swagmacher for the position of captain.
Hang on 1 second, sorry. Oh. Just bear with me for 1 minute.
Mary Ann has her hand up in the meantime.
Yeah, Mary Ann.
I just heard Gary say that he didn't have it pop up the last time. Speak up, you guys, if you know. If for some reason it doesn't pop up,
Well, it was,
he's not
it
gonna
was very,
know.
right. It was very quick. I couldn't vote on Wendell or Bonnie.
I'm not picking
And
on
by
you,
the
Gary. I'm
time I
just
went
saying
to
it.
say something, by the time I went to say something, you guys had already closed it. And seeing
Right,
no one.
I agree. I think we need a little bit more time to, especially if people are having trouble, because, you know, it's their right to vote. So if there's an issue, we need to make sure that we have it, you know, fixed.
And I was saying it's kind of pointless because there's no one voting against anybody, so as of yet, there's no two people.
Yeah,
So-
but it's still your right to vote, so you
Yep.
know, we should make sure that it's all working
Okay,
properly.
good. Thank you for the feedback. We'll definitely move forward to that. We're waiting on the poll.
Yep, hang on one sec. Sorry about that. There we go.
Okay, I've got 18 votes.
And we've got 20 people who can cast a vote. There's 19, there's 20.
Okay. Does anybody need more time? All right, let's close the voting. And congratulations, Alexis.
Thank you very much, everybody.
And my apologies, Alexis, for not pronouncing your name correctly. For the other position of captain, the nominating committee has nominated Sean Dingy. Are there any other nominations for the position of captain? Okay. Hearing none, let's set up the poll. So we'll close the nominations for the position of captain and proceed with voting. Okay, we now have 20. Thank you. Congratulations, Sean.
Thank you, everyone.
Somebody has to mute their thing. It's buzzing.
Okay, for the position of lieutenant, the nominating committee nominated myself for the position of lieutenant. Are there any other nominations for this position? Okay, hearing none, we will close the nominations for the position of lieutenant and proceed with voting. Okay, we have 20 votes. We can close the voting. Thank you. Okay, for the other position of lieutenant, the nominating committee left that open. Are there any nominations for this vacant position? Okay, we'll move on to the next. For the position of president, the nominating committee nominated me. Are there any other nominations for this position? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the nominations for the position of president and proceed with voting. We need one more vote. I've got 19 votes. We usually have 20. Is there someone who would prefer not to vote, or has chosen not to vote, or is having difficulty voting? Can you unmute yourself or say something in chat? Alan Gobble has gone to great lengths to confirm that members are not required to vote. Okay. At this time, we'll close the polls, the voting, and if you could show the results, Gene. Okay, for the position of treasurer, the nominating committee.
Excuse me, John, I didn't see the results.
Yep, go ahead.
I didn't see the results.
For
Did they
president,
get posted? Correct. Did they get posted?
they have been posted.
I looked away. Sorry. Jean, can you help me out?
I
Please?
I have a terrible short-term memory. We'll have to catch it in the recording.
It was
I believe it was
79-21.
Yep.
Sorry, one person at a time, please.
79-21.
Thank you.
All right, ready to proceed, Kathy?
Yes, sir.
All right, for the position of treasurer, the nominating committee nominates Ed Mattson. Are there any other nominations from the floor? All right, hearing none, we will close the nominations for the position of treasurer and proceed with voting.
Gene, I'm getting a polling not start or end signal.
Me too.
Also, my
Same.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's global.
Okay, well, needs to be fixed. Thank you. We'll try again.
I don't know why that happened.
That worked. Thank you.
thank you.
Well, it worked for me and I had voted twice, so careful your count.
Oh, it wipes it out. It relaunched.
Nice try, Gary.
Okay, we do have, oh yeah, okay, we're set. We have 20 votes. We'll close the voting, and if you could show us the results. Thank you, Gene. Congratulations, Ed. For the position of secretary, the nominating committee nominates Kathy Mazza. Are there any nominations from the floor for this position? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the nominations for the position of secretary and proceed with voting. We have 20 votes. We can end the voting. Congratulations, Kathy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kath, for all your hard work, Secretary.
You're very welcome.
For the position of engineer, the nominating committee nominates John Christian. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Hearing none, we will close the nomination for the position of engineer and proceed with voting. I have 18 votes, 2 more out there. Thank you. We have 20 votes. We can end the voting. Show the results. Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to close the elections. Want to thank Dan and Tim for your help on the nominating committee. Gene, thank you for helping make it go so smoothly over Zoom. Okay. previous legal action. I believe we'll turn the matter over to Alan.
I'm going to be a little slow. Take me a second to type, Bonnie. If I know we call on you, Bonnie, but you do a great job with this, and it certainly could be my motion. If you're able to, like, take a motion to go into executive session to discuss a previous legal matter.
At 8:39.
Okay, Bonnie has entered in that Alan makes a motion to go into executive session to discuss a previous legal matter, seconded by Wendell. Is there any discussion? Right? Let's vote.
Am I missing the motion in the chat?
You are. We're about to close a unanimous vote on
No, the actual motion.
the actual motion was submitted by Bonnie at 8:39.
Does anybody else, is everybody else seeing it and I'm not?
Everybody else has.
I see it in chat.
Kathy, I
myself.
think you probably just have to scroll back up the,
Oh, way up. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, sometimes that happens and I don't know why.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, the motion carries. Stand by. I'll turn it back over to Alan.
Thanks, John. So I'll make a motion to spend up to $750 for a financial execution for the
Are you typing or am I, Alan?
I'm actually typing as we do it. Sorry, I started it and I'm sorry, everybody.
Sounds painful, Alan.
Hey, you know me. So my motion is to spend up to $750 for the financial execution of the court order as discussed in executive session. And I'm purposely leaving names out. Number one, for protection of individual and also for notification.
Okay, it's been seconded by Sean. Is there discussion?
Hey, John,
Eric?
was this warrant for?
Well, it was that's a good question.
Nope. Eric, you're absolutely right. And that's why we have on the agenda the suspension of the spending policy.
Well, you need to do that first. Right?
That would need to do that first. You're absolutely right. I will withdraw my motion.
Sean? Sean, can you agree? Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bonnie,
Alan,
could you type now for me, please?
Um, Al, if you're set, we'll move on to suspension of spending policy.
Well, they all tie in as both, so
Okay.
yes.
Suspension of spending policy.
Go ahead, Alan, I'll type.
So Bonnie, it would be a motion to suspend the spending policy to allow for an expense of up to $750 for a financial execution order as discussed in executive session.
Do you want to read it, Alan, or do you want me?
If you can.
Alan's motion as written by Bonnie is to suspend the spending policy to allow for an expense of up to $750 for a financial execution order as discussed in executive session, seconded by Sean. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote.
John, Matt had his hand up for a while.
Well. Okay. I've been scanning the list of attendees and I didn't see a raised hand. I have no video on anybody attending this meeting. Matt, do you have something to say?
I just wanted to ask what the urgency was that we had to set aside our spending policy to get this done. Why it was not just something we could warn for and do next month.
Alan?
Again, by keeping it here, I was concerned that if he had money, he would shift it or move it.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, my understanding in this process is if someone wishes to change their vote, they may, but please enter it in as specifically saying, I change my vote to. Otherwise, we will close the voting on this motion. Okay, the motion carries. All right, warrant expenditures. Gene?
I'm all set.
Okay. Document storage, Eric?
So I know I spent hours and hours, and I know you and Kathy spent hours and hours this year working on trying to update some missed stuff in the minutes. So I'm wondering if we can get our meeting recordings posted and stored on our website indefinitely. And I did get a text from Jean that said she's working on it, but I don't know. You need some sort of other programming stuff or what?
No, they're just humongous files. I have to go back and look. The requirement in the Public Act was, it doesn't require us to keep them up there forever. I think, I'm not gonna guess. But yeah, we can, if you want them up there indefinitely, we can do that. We usually keep 2 years of minutes. But
My concern,
working on it.
the documents we found recently were several years old. And had there been a Zoom recording, I think it would have been, it made it much easier to research and correct. Would you guys agree with that, Kathy and John?
I didn't hear you clearly, Eric. Could you say it again?
If there had been a Zoom recording, I think it would have gone much quicker to rectify the problem, wouldn't you say?
I don't know what problem you're referring to. I haven't had any problems.
Eric, I would concur. The Zoom recordings have solved a number of questions.
Okay.
I've got my hand up.
Thank you, Carly. Is that Carly? Yes, go ahead,
Yeah.
Carly.
So Jean and I had talked at some length a long time ago about doing this all digitally on the computer and just scanning the stuff in. So we didn't have to have the paper. And I don't see, I offered back then to do it. We just weren't set up for it yet. And I don't see why we don't do that. I don't believe in throwing these records away.
You mean to archive? You mean to archive? Sorry to jump in. Archive things electronically and then throw away the paper version. I don't know.
You talking to me? I'm sorry.
I'm talking. I'm asking.
I believe Kathy has a question for Carly.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Are you describing a procedure which would archive the minutes electronically and then you could dispose of the paper copies? Or do you want to keep the paper copies
Yes.
forever too? Sorry, I just asked 2 questions.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
I'm sorry, which one? Electronically and then throw them away?
Of scanning them into a program.
Yep.
Meant to do this, and then we could get rid of the paper if we wanted to.
Right. Okay, thanks.
But that is not the concern of mine. My concern was that the minutes of years and years ago were taken incorrectly. And it would have been found much easier, I believe, on a recording. Anyway, thank you.
Jean, do you have any rough kind of guess what kind of expense we're looking at as the volumes of data from Zoom recordings mount?
We increased the Google Drive. Once ready, I'll let you know when I'm done uploading them all. If we have to increase it again.
And Eric, can I just confirm with you that the crux of your topic was that you wanted our Zoom recordings from meetings to be available to the public indefinitely?
Well, I mean, they're available to the public for under whatever the Public Act that Gene's talking about, but I would think that they need to be at least accessible to the department after that time. Yes.
But your main emphasis was that they're they're up and available basically forever.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And you know, whatever the time limit is for the public is fine, but you know, if a department member needs to research something 10, 15 years down the road, I think they should be available.
Anything else on document storage?
That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up. All right, Chief's report.
I'll keep it short. We had COVID before, but that's been dominating a lot of our time. We were hoping to start moving towards in-person training and better training than what we've been able to have this year. What we have had is again online. Thanks, Tim, for managing that for us, or administrating it, and also thanks to Jeremy for administering that. And then you know, the officers and members that were able to make the limited live training that we've done. I want the members to know also that we are working with our neighbors, having to do with you know, COVID, but also with our other training because of the manpower shortage and so forth that's there. Of late, the last couple of weeks, Bonnie, John, and myself as the leaders in COVID committee, but also Bonnie and I specifically as your EMS and fire chiefs, have been working with our neighbors and trying to come up with contingency plans and following through on the COOP plan that Chief Mattson and the officers had in place last year. And more to come, but we're really, it's really tough. There's a major shortage. Bonnie will probably touch base more on the EMS side, but you know, that's been a real concern here, not just for us, but all the way through other towns and the other services, meaning a real short of EMTs, medical people, and so forth. I want to make it clear to the members also, since we have a lot here, that again, whatever you can do to respond to calls, you know, please continue to do that. I'm going to try to make a different approach this year and divide the actual department into squads for each one of the officers. We've talked about it a little bit in the past, but I want to try that to try to be able to have things work a little bit better and in smaller groups as part of a COOP operation and so forth. So that'll be coming in the next couple weeks. And again, for communication and working together. I also, since we've, you know, this is on recording and so forth, want to thank Jean and the Board of Selectmen, but specifically Jean right now, and Eric and David from the emergency management for, you know, working. I can only imagine the hours that you guys have been doing with, you know, this COVID situation that we're in now. And it's really hit home in Kent. There's a lot of people with the infection. One of the patients that we recently transported on the ambulance passed away related to COVID. So we've now seen that in, you know, right here in the town. Maybe somebody else saw it before. I didn't. So this is really, you know, being here. And I will say again, as I said before, please take care of yourself, your family, be as safe. And I know people are safe. I know people are trying, but you know, just it's there and there's a lot going on. And, you know, we just need everybody to do what they can. And some people say it's inevitable, and it probably is, that it's the way it is spreading and so forth. But so if you need anything, you know, we have the brothers and sisters in the fire service here. You know, just everybody works together to try to do what they can. Mary Ann talked earlier, Bonnie talked earlier and you know, about supplies and so forth. So Just do what we can to protect yourselves, protect your family. And I just saw on a news flash two things that right now the United States had over 400,000 COVID cases in one day. And just think how many are not being reported. We know Connecticut is a high positivity rate. It's over 20%. And now that may or may not adjust because of all the at-home tests, but it's there. And Gene and Eric and Bonnie and John, as that other committee, I just sent you the thing I just got as a news that the governor found another 1 million test kits, so they're coming. So hopefully that'll be helpful, for everybody. So that's it. I know it's late. Again, thank you.
Great. Line officers,
Hey, John, it's Wendell. I got, there was 18 calls for the month. 2 lift assists, 7 automatic alarms, 4 MVAs, 3 wires down, and 2 gas leaks. One of those gas leaks ended up just being sewer gas in town. Tentatively, I have, it looks like 178 calls for the year, but I can't completely verify that, but I think it's pretty close to that.
say again that number.
178 fire calls for the year.
Okay. Great, thank you.
That's it for me.
Okay, any other line officers?
Nothing here.
All right. Ambulance chief.
December, we had 45 calls, pretty busy month. Year to date, so for 2021, like Wendell, it's pretty close, but about 381 calls, give or take. Just a reminder to everyone, fire and EMS, get your airborne, bloodborne, and hazmat done for 2021 before the next executive committee meeting. Let's see what else. In the interim COVID policy that John sent out earlier today, I think it was, I just wanted to repeat, if anybody has a need, exposure, symptoms, just get a hold of Marianne and I, we will get you guys a test. And then I've got 2 folks, 2 new members, that are interested in taking an EMT course. Marianne was nice enough to send me the updated policy as far as certification courses, which was amended in November. It says active emergency members who would like the department to pay for an EMS or firefighter certification course in advance must obtain approval from the training officer, fire chief, or ambulance chief by clarifying that he or she has the time to pass and complete the course and plans to continue responding in Kent in that certified capacity. In the event a member lets EMT certification lapse and must retake the entire course, the department is not responsible for paying the training fees. I've got 2 folks that came to me, 2 new members that would like to sign up for EMT course. Just bring this up. Hold on one second. They've gotten my approval. And it's looking to be about $800 for the course, but that does not include books and exam fees. And I know exam fees run about $150. So I would say it's going to be about $1,000 for each one. Does this and I'm asking this question, is this something that needs to be warned for, or can I make a motion that the department pays for the 2 courses for Larry and Michelle?
I believe policy allows for training to be voted on at the meeting without warning.
Okay, then I will type a motion.
Bonnie, I already did it, sorry. Just
Oh,
check it. Sure.
thank you.
Sorry, I should have told you, but I was muted. Just make sure that it is correct.
The only thing is, do we need to include an amount or no? That's my question.
I personally don't see why we need to. It doesn't, policy doesn't say that there's an amount, it has to be, but John can clarify, I guess.
Yeah, the
I-
policy does not say that it needs an amount.
I would encourage you to include it. I mean, I think it's useful for the record. But it is up to you.
What do you want me to do? Bonnie, are you putting that in, or do you want me to just copy
what?
and paste it and add it?
I was gonna say copy and paste since it's your motion.
Okay. At a cost of, what are we saying?
It's gonna be about $1,000 a piece.
Alexis, you want to second that?
You already had a motion with a second.
Okay. Mary Ann's motion is to pay for 2 EMT classes for 2 new members, Michelle Kaplan and Lauren Schenk, at a cost of approximately $1,000 each.
Mary
Second.
Ann has her hand up again.
Uh, Okay. Seconded by Alexis. Go ahead, Mary Ann.
If it's okay, I'll let Matt, I was going to respond to Matt's message there. So if he wants to speak first, I saw he started to put his hand up. Go right ahead.
Is that okay, John?
Yeah, sorry, I'm pulling out.
No, I
budget.
just wanted to point out that that was one of my issues with the budget, that there wasn't a lot in new classes, and I know our goal, we had a couple new people coming on, so I assume we're just gonna have to take money out of one of the other lines.
Bonnie?
I don't have the budget in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that was one of the things that we changed at the end, was upping training money. I don't have it in front of me, though.
Bonnie, if I can interject, there is a lot of money. It looks like maybe it got put in the wrong slot. It says 4,000 in EMT instructor fees. But only 750 in EMT courses. But there is money for continuing education, 1,500, and 1,500 in CPR cards.
I recall us kind of trying to flesh this out because there was some confusion about what certain line items meant under E EMS.
Yeah, the instructor fees, I think Marcy and I had flushed that out. That's for if we have to bring somebody into the department to do a training and we have to pay for them. So that's not horses. Do you have the current one in front of you, John?
Well, yeah, I do. I see what Matt is saying. It does say 750 for EMS courses. This is the December 13 version.
Because those two, to me, not looking at it right now, those two numbers should be switched. The instructor fee would be closer to the 750 and the courses would be 4,000. I agree with you, Matt.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Bonnie, the confusion may have stemmed from 700 in a previous draft, $750 for EMSI courses. I believe 4,000 was the.
John, if I can step in for a second, because I have my several versions here. And again, you and Marcy or Bonnie, you and Marcy, like you said, you went through it and went back to the history. And that's why it was instructor fees was not for bringing people in to do that. It was under the EMT, EMR instructor fees was to pay instructors for the courses that we sent them to. So that would be for a new course. And that's, if you look at the previous things, like last year you spent $2,650. And I'm just going from my notes from what you guys reported back. We thought it should be under EMS courses, like Matt is referencing and you're referencing, but the way it had been, my notes show that what you guys had reported is the way it had been documented before. It was set up differently. And then we had EMT, EMR continuing education. And that was where you had instructors come in and teach at Monday nights, the Monday night meeting, or anything else that needed to be done that way. So that was the continuing education where you had a guest speaker, you had where you had the guy from Bantam come in. Art Romano always donated his time, but we had other things in that was on. Everybody was already certified, but was continuing. So in an EMS course could be like you said, John just said instructor. So that would mean they took an actual course to become an instructor like you and Gene did not that long ago. There was a fee in there.
All right. Is there, I think we've seen the source of the problem here. But go ahead, Tim, you have your hand up.
I'm just looking at the budget. If you go actually all the way back up towards member training and education, line 6000-3, there's the firefighter 1 miscellaneous training classes. I'm confused as to why maybe the EMS isn't up there too, but there is you budgeted $3,300 just for miscellaneous classes and stuff like that. So if we do need to transfer, if the department needs to transfer funds one line to another, I think that would be a line that things could come from as well too.
Okay, I think we're agreed that this course expense will come from EMS instructor fees. Is that okay with you, Bonnie? Is that okay with you, Ed?
What do we have in that line, John?
4,000.
Yes. It's okay with me, Ed.
Yeah, I think that was our intention, but
I know we discussed it numerous times at our
Yep.
meetings.
Yep.
knowing we had new members coming in and they were gonna need money for training, so.
Okay, Ed, I'm not sure if you're still here. I think, Matt, if you could indicate if we've clarified your question, thank you for bringing it up. All right, any other discussion on this? Matt affirms, okay, thank you. Let's go ahead and vote. The motion is to pay for 2 EMT classes for 2 new members, Michelle Kaplan and Lauren Schenk, at a cost of approximately $1,000 each.
Thank you, and that's it for me.
Okay, thanks, Bonnie. Committee reports?
Don, just a quick question. Because this course is coming up in a couple of weeks, they are going to need payment fairly soon. So I know Lawrence is on the meeting here. Michelle obviously is not, but we'll be doing this, and she'll have her other training finished by then. But when, how should we go ahead and do that?
I would facilitate that conversation if you could with Bonnie and Ed.
Okay.
And Marcy on an email.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, Mary Ann, the instructors of the courses are usually really understanding, especially when the department is paying for it, and they
Yep.
usually will send a bill to the department.
Okay, all right. I'll send an email to you and Ed, and we'll do it that way. Thanks.
All right, coming in on the home stretch here. Committee reports. Seeing nothing. Appointed positions. And auxiliary. Again, thank you, Susie, and your crew. Juniors.
Wendell and I have a junior meeting set for this Thursday night at 7, so we're getting rolling. We'll probably have a report for you next month.
That's great. Thank you, guys,
John,
for taking that on. Yes.
sorry, Jean here. The minutes and agendas are all, again, up to date on the website. I have to get with Kathy for 2, I think, agendas that I don't see in my email. And I put in the chat that the COVID protocol is on the member side of the website as of right now. And just for officers that are continuing on, I know year after year, it sort of becomes in the background of keeping your inboxes cleaned up, but please do certainly keep your inboxes cleaned up. It's a good time of year to do it.
Okay, that's an important point. Jean, are you locking us out of our email accounts as of this moment? Or can you give us a grace period to clean out or arrange our mailboxes?
I don't think, is there anybody there's nobody outgoing, is there? Everybody's gone.
Sean and Alexis are
Moved up to Kathy.
moving up, and I have not had a chance to arrange, not that I have a lot to do in the Kent 5 mailbox, but
Okay.
24 hours?
If you guys feel like that's enough,
That's a question to Alexis and Lou.
Sure, it's good for me.
It's good. I just cleaned mine out, so I have all the time in the world for anybody ready to take my account.
Okay, thank you.
I did that as we were sitting in our meeting.
All right.
And Jean, if we're staying in a position, nothing changes?
that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be.
You
Okay.
know I'm good with my inbox, so.
Thank you. All right, expenditure warnings. Oh, well, okay.
John,
Yes, Alan.
so you have on there technology. So I'd like to make sure that gets listed under expenditure warnings.
Yeah, if we could just, what is that? Keep that on there for next month.
And I'd also like to put down there legal costs. In case we need anything additional. So that would be 2.
Yep.
And then,
Yep. The hand up after Alan finishes talking.
and then that way, again, at least we have the warning on here for if something should change or whatever. And just as a Bonnie, or Mary Ann, do we need anything to do with the defibs? The defibrillators? Because this would be then February, so I think we should at least warn for the defibrillators that are in need of immediate replacement. So I would put that on there, please, John and Kathy. So those 3 things. Thank you.
Yes, Alan, I think you're correct. I'll talk to Bonnie about that.
At least get it on there. Hopefully we can have things ready, but for a cost anyway, and to get it approved.
And John, Matt had his hand up.
Go ahead, Matt.
I just had a point about the warnings, John.
Yeah.
It's just seems like some of the warnings have just gone on and on and on. Nothing specific, just a category. Every month you have to put it on there. Every month you ask, and I just truly think if there's something, absolutely, if there's defibrillators, if there's a true warning, but I would say we shouldn't keep automatically putting these warnings out there just to keep a free rein in case somebody gets the urge to spend something. It takes away the whole idea of why we had the warning process. It's to be warned so that you do your homework, you get it done, and you present it at the next meeting. If you don't do that, well, it disappears.
Specifically.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anything else? Shall we adjourn at 9:39?
Yes, sir. After you stop recording, will you send me the chat, please?